What's going on, guys, and welcome to another video. So today we're going to be watching me doing a heat shrink and kind of prep the windshield on this Tesla Model 3. And today we're going to be covering you should not tint your windshield unless, right? So that's the thumbnail. It's a little bit clickbaity, sorry about that. But we're going to be discussing why I think it's a good idea to do your windshield and the potentially bad ideas and bad options for tinting your windshield. So sit back, enjoy. Hopefully you guys get some entertainment by watching me tinting this video. But if you guys are watching and you're wondering why I haven't installed the film, the reason is because it's very hard to wear the GoPro on my hat while I'm installing. It's just very big and bulky. So when I'm in there, I like to take it off. So I tried to get a video on the Sony, but unfortunately I couldn't at the time. So you're gonna see the shrinking portion, which is actually like half of it, and then the install would be the other half. So let's go ahead and let's get into the discussion. All right, so let's go over point number one, which is legal issues. Legality issue number one, or here's what to expect for your state or my state. So every state is different when it comes to the state laws regarding your how dark you can go for different options in the back and the front. So for example, California, you can go 5% limo in the back, and in the front they only allow clear 70. Where there's other states where you can go 20 in the back and 35 in the front. So the laws differ state by state, but all across the board, usually people go like 5 in the back, 35 in the front. That's typically what people go with. So it's dark, but not too dark. Okay, guys, so make sure that you're looking at your current state and the laws, and make sure you're looking at the updated one because they update it every couple years. So sometimes they're the same for 20 years, 10 years, and sometimes they change. So just check into that for yourself and see what your state law is, so that way you know when you go into your tint shop. Okay, number two. What are the benefits from tinting your windshield with a clear UV film? So 70%, it's clear. There's nothing there. And customers are shocked when I tint the windows. They think it's going to be like a slightly tinted look, even with our display, where they can clearly see it's not tinted. What are the benefits, right? So the benefits are you get a 99% UV protection. That's benefit number one. For some people, that's exactly what they need. Benefit number two is you're getting IR rejection and heat rejection. So basically it's cooler in the car while you're driving. The front windshield is the biggest windshield on the car. So if you're getting your full car tinted with ceramic and then you're not doing the windshield, it'll help, definitely will help improve the cabin's temperature. However, if you do the windshield, that's the biggest piece of glass on the car. So I would highly recommend tinting it because it's just a big hole in your car. And it's not worth buying ceramic unless you cover every single window, in my personal opinion. Okay. Number three, popular to do 50%. So most of our customers go with the slightly, like ever so slightly tinted look, which is the 50%. The 50% makes everything super nice, and it's not clear. You can see like the silhouette, the shape of the person, the hand, but you can't see the details. So I think that looks really, really good. I have it on my personal car. That's the darkest we would ever go and recommend going. So if you are at a shop and they have 50, I would highly recommend 50 over 70, because at night when you're driving, there's a lot less glare as well. All right, guys. So what are the benefits of going dark, which is like, let's say 35 or 20? You get more glare reduction. However, you're going to have a lot more cons. There's not going to be a whole lot of positive here, guys. Number one, you can easily get a fix-it ticket. That's at the minimum, it's like $30, $40, and then you got to go take it off and then pay your tint shop to take off the tin. It's a whole mess, right? So it's going to be probably around $100, $200 if you get that fix-it ticket. Number two is that you're going to potentially get your car impounded. So if you have like a 5% windshield, I know every state's different, but police officers can deem you unfit for the road, and they can actually tow that vehicle. So that's a risk that you take when you go that dark. Most professional shops will not install anything darker than 50%. I don't think it's a good idea because of legal issues. Okay, number three, when it's too dark, or number four, I'm sorry. When it's too dark, your vision is impaired. So you are driving, you can kind of see everything, but you can't see all the details. Your response time is a lot shorter. I have seen it. I've driven in a car with someone with 20% window tint, and it's horrible. It looks cool, but you can't see out of it. So what's the point of even driving with window tint on your vehicle if you can't even see. So definitely will impair your vision, and I don't recommend it. If you crash because your window tint is too dark, guys, there are a couple of issues that can arise from this. Number one, you're gonna get a potentially bigger slide, like you're gonna get in more trouble than you already are by having your windshield that dark. So if the police can clearly see that the accident may have been prevented by just not having window tint, or if they like, wow, this kid was driving at night and crashed into this lady and he has window tint, then imagine the legal issues if they know that that's a fact. You can definitely get a harsher punishment and potentially get your the shop who did the install in trouble. So that's definitely one of the cons of going way too dark. Number 5, I believe, is going to be insurance companies. So if your tint is too dark, the insurance company can fight the claim that you're trying to make. So if you are having to deal with the insurance and they're saying, hey, well, we'll cover everything, but you had a legal tint, it's not our fault that you crashed that car, it's the tint's fault. So there are going to be some insurance issues as well. Potentially, these are not facts, these are just potential issues. It's just best for you guys to know them in case it does happen. Okay, how hard is it to install a windshield? So it is very hard. Even with 2 guys, it takes a lot of time, patience. Is very easy to wrinkle, damage the film. Most customers don't realize how difficult this install is, or how difficult it can be. Any tiny little stress or hair or anything will damage the install, and it makes our job really, really hard. So I don't recommend doing it on your own at your own house. This is not a DIY project I'd recommend, but when you do go to a shop, maybe you'll be a little bit nicer because you know how complicated it is. I always tell people, like, I wish my customers would like tint a car like once in their life. So when they bring it in, they're like, oh my gosh, like they respect us so much because they've been through the struggle of installing. They think we just slip on a sticker and it's just good to go. It's complicated, and anyone who installs tint, you guys know that for sure. All right, it's easy to get contamination. So when you're installing, it's very easy for contaminants to get inside the window because the windshield's huge and we're doing one piece. So it's very, very, very likely you're gonna have contamination inside the install. You can also risk water damaging the electronics if you don't have the dash protector and you don't have the soak rope and you're just spraying like crazy. You could potentially damage the electronics. You could potentially even damage the dash. So you got to be really careful when you're doing this. And this is why I recommend taking it to a professional shop. Okay guys, so I highly recommend for my shop owners to have a liability waiver. The liability waiver is going to save you a lot of hassle and potential legal issues in the future. So if you guys are interested and want to know what my liability waiver is, I'll link it below. It's exactly what I use in my shop. Also helps me figure out where the customers are coming from. So if you don't have a liability waiver and you're doing windshields, it's very hard to get out of an issue that's like $1,000, $2,000 because of an accident. So you want to have that waiver to make sure the customer knows exactly what they're getting into. All right guys, so that's it for this video. I hope this has answered a lot of questions about windshield tint. And if you're a consumer watching this and you want to go get your car tinted, don't be so crazy when it comes to your installs. Go to a shop that's reputable, that has good reviews, but even then they're not going to be perfect. So make sure you have realistic standards for those customers or for those shop owners. And if you are looking into doing windshield tinting or tinting in general, it's a very complex thing to do. It's hard, it takes time, a lot of focus. So if you guys are interested, make sure you look at the waiver, make sure that you have clear and you have 50 just in case. And that's about it guys. I'll see you guys in the next video.